Very much, Honorable Chairperson. I rise on behalf of the Inkatha Freedom Party and in the interest of the thousands of investors, mostly pensioners, SMME beneficiaries and staff of Ithala Bank, to lead the debate on ensuring the continued existence of Ithala Bank state-owned company as an instrument for equal access to finance development and opportunities. Honorable Chairperson, Honorable House Chairs, Chief Whip and Honorable Members of the NCOP, the future existence of Ithala Development Bank is one of the most important decisions we will undertake in South Africa's democratic history, since it will speak directly to securing the future of socio-economic rights for millions of our people. During the apartheid era, we can all recall the difficulty of millions of South Africans who were not able to acquire bank loans just because they could not provide collateral to secure those loans. The oppressive and restrictive apartheid laws prevented citizens of color, especially those living in rural areas, from access to financial support and economic security. Apartheid engineered a system of inaccessibility for non-white people. It prevented us from acquiring loans to establish businesses that would put food on our table or allow us to access to prime areas of economic activity, trading, home ownership, or an improved lifestyle. That was when the late Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi, one of South Africa's most esteemed statesmen, who valued the upliftment of all citizens, decided to establish Ithala Bank as a state-owned company in 1958 to provide for economic participation and access to banking services to the marginalized poor in KwaZulu-Natal. Prince Buthelezi saw that many of the marginalized poor had skills and were prepared to work and establish businesses, but they did not have access to startup capital. Ithala Bank was a vehicle that provided economic access in the form of loans to start businesses, to encourage savings and investments. His progressive vision found resonance even in the deep rural areas of KwaZulu-Natal, where branches of Ithala Bank were established to take services closer to the people. Ithala Bank, developed as an institution to be more than a mere financial entity, it has been a lifeline to thousands of people, particularly the most vulnerable in our society. Many of the successful businesses that exist even today found their origins through Ithala Bank. For over 65 years, the Ithala Development Finance Corporation has been a pioneer in bringing banking services to previously unbanked communities, even in the deep rural areas. It was the first institution to offer financial support in rural areas, establishing shopping centers, industrial estates, and providing affordable business space for entrepreneurs who otherwise would not have access to such resources. By optimizing its property portfolio, the IDFC has ensured that small businesses and informal traders have access to operate, thereby fostering sustainable local economies. If we allow its closure, we risk plunging many into deeper poverty, reversing hard-won gains in socio-economic transformation, and leaving millions of people without crucial financial support to sustain businesses and livelihoods. The IDFC has played a pivotal role in job creation and economic development in KwaZulu-Natal and South Africa at large. As we have been recently facing an economic decline and job losses in South Africa, in 2023-2024 financial year alone, Ithala Bank created 5,165 jobs through various initiatives, from financing small, medium and macro enterprises to infrastructure development projects. Through its business finance unit, the IDFC approved 565 loan applications, injecting 415 million rand into the economy to support 418 businesses. Of this, 94% of the funding was allocated to black-owned businesses, with special focus on youth and women entrepreneurs. The IFP believes that this is not just an economic activity, it is transformation, equity, and opportunity for those who have historically been excluded from financial opportunities. These are not just numbers, Honorable Chairperson. They represent individuals and families who depend on the IDFC to put food on the table daily. As a country, we can ill afford the loss of a single job, let alone the loss of thousands of jobs that will in turn affect thousands of dependents. The activities of Ithala Bank is an enactment of President Cyril Ramaphosa's commitment in his 2025 SONA to empowering black people, specifically women and persons with disabilities, who have been deliberately excluded from playing a key role in the economy of their own country. In its enactment of the promise to capacitate the youth in accessing funds for entrepreneurial activities and helping government achieve its goal of giving the youth 50% of its businesses as promised in the 2021 Youth Parliament. Honorable Chairperson, I encourage all members here to pause for a moment and reflect on what would happen if the IDFC ceased to exist. 1. There would be a loss of over 5,000 jobs and livelihoods that the IDFC creates each year. 2. Small businesses which depend on the IDFC's funding would collapse, leading to further job losses, thereby foregoing any chance of achieving our estimated 3% economic growth and providing relief in the cost of living. 3. There will be increased poverty and economic disparity since the IDFC's focus on black-owned, youth-owned, and women-owned businesses would be lost, setting back transformation efforts by decades and robbing millions of marginalized people a lifeline to economic inclusion. Rural and township economies, which rely on the IDFC's financial and non-financial support, would struggle to survive. The reality is that Ithala is the only bank in certain townships or rural areas providing the much-needed SASA grant lifeline to many. It provides security of funds by ensuring these vulnerable people can rely on its services. 4. There will be reduced access to affordable financing because without the IDFC, small businesses and cooperatives would find it nearly impossible to secure loans from commercial banks due to stringent requirements and high interest rates. In SONA 2025, President Ramaphosa emphasized the importance of public-private partnerships. It is IFP's view that public-private partnerships should mainly benefit locally owned businesses. Ithala Bank is best positioned to understand the needs of local business initiatives. Without proper financial management, as offered by Ithala Bank, many aspiring entrepreneurs would be forced to turn to loan sharks or mashonisas, leading to cycles of debt, financial ruin, and unregulated lending practices. And 5, infrastructure development would stagnate since the IDFC has been instrumental in developing shopping centers, industrial estates, and business hubs that provide jobs and services to communities. Examples of such initiatives are Isitebe in Mandeni, Izakeni in Ladysmith, and Mandeni and Madadeni in Newcastle, to name just a few of the business hubs that were set up by Ithala Bank.